In this video, I'm going to be repairing this mid-2015 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro that has an issue detecting its battery. Now, this machine was actually not originally a 2.8 gigahertz machine with the dedicated graphics card. This was originally the base model, which only had an integrated graphics card and I believe only like a 2.0 or maybe a 2.3 gigahertz Intel Core i7. Now, the board that's in this machine now was actually originally my board. I actually got it for free from a friend of mine, and I didn't have a machine to test it in. So my friend told me it was a fully working board, so I just took his word on it. And I went ahead and sent the board to my friend Chris, who has a YouTube channel called Zodium, if you want to go check him out. I think he has a video of this machine, if I'm not mistaken. But, or actually, no, I don't think he has made one of this one yet. But, basically, I sent him the board, and, of course, I assumed it was fully working because, like I said, I didn't have a 2015 battery top case or anything to test it with, so... and it does work. As you can see, it is on. However, like I said, it will not detect its battery. So if we go over here to the power settings, or the power section of System Profiler here, you can see that it cannot obtain any battery information. The charge remaining is 0, and all this stuff is 0 or not detected at all. So that is indeed an issue with the logic board because, of course, this battery that's in this machine worked perfectly fine with the original logic board. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and remove the board from the machine, and I believe this issue is probably going to be something relatively easy. Normally what causes this is either a shorted or bad trace on a battery data line on the logic board. So we'll go ahead and test all those with a multimeter. It should be, pretty easy to figure out what rail is shorted or not, making the proper continuity to where it needs to go. And then we'll just run a wire or replace the bad component, and it should be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get the board out of the machine, and then we will begin the process of figuring out what's wrong with the board. Alright, so after taking a quick look through the schematics and doing a bit of testing, I think I have determined the problem. So it turns out that the PP3V42G3 hot rail should be going through this 2K ohm resistor and into the SMBUS lines for the battery, as you can see right there. Now, I tested this resistor. I actually tested both of these resistors, and they both should be 2K ohm. This one measured 2K ohm just fine. However, this one did not measure any resistance at all, so it was completely open. Which of course means that that resistor has failed. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get another 2 kilo ohm resistor off of another MacBook logic board, replace the resistor on this board, and in theory that should get the battery working perfectly normally again. So I'm going to go ahead and get a resistor off, and go ahead and put the camera in the tripod and show you the whole process, and then we'll go ahead and swap that resistor out and see if the board works. Alright, so I've gotten the camera and the tripod here, and I have gotten a new resistor removed from another board and ready to be put on this board. So of course the first thing we're going to go ahead and do here is apply some flux to the resistor we're trying to replace, which is right there. So I know it's going to be kind of hard to see in the video just because the camera is so far away, but the resistor is quite small, and it's right here next to the SMC. So I'm going to go ahead and heat this up, and we'll go ahead and remove it. Alright, so the resistor's off here, so let's go ahead and put that aside. I'll go ahead and grab our new resistor. Alright, I'm going to apply a little bit more flux. just to make sure it goes on correctly. Alright, and that looks to be on, so now I'll go ahead and turn off the board preheater, and then we'll go ahead and hook this board up, test it, and see if the battery is now detected. Alright, so I've just finished reassembling the machine after replacing that resistor, and look at that, the battery status is now working. So you can see that it is currently running off the battery. I don't have it plugged in, as you can see. And of course, if we do plug it in, it will start charging the battery. As you can see, it turned orange. The battery status now shows that it is charging. It should be in a minute. Sometimes it takes a while. There we go. Alright, it's charging. So now we can go ahead and go into About This Mac and check the power section of System Profiler again. And now, as you can see, it detects all the battery details, the cycle count, the serial number manufacturer, and all that stuff that it wasn't detecting before. And the machine is now running a lot better now that it detects that a battery is installed, because these systems run like absolute garbage if no battery is installed, or a bad battery is installed, or it just doesn't detect the battery at all like this machine was doing. So now that we've repaired that, the machine now runs great. It runs off the battery perfectly with no issues there. And yeah, that has been the fully successful repair of this mid-2015 15-inch Apple MacBook Pro logic board. So, hope you enjoyed this video.